On August 31st, 2025, Tamil Nadu witnessed a major shift in its police leadership. With the retirement of the state's Director General of Police (DGP) Shankar Jiwal, the government moved swiftly to appoint senior IPS officer G. Venkatraman as the acting DGP. At first glance, it appeared like a routine administrative exercise. But this appointment has now drawn the attention of the Supreme Court, raising questions about whether the state has respected the established norms for appointing the top police officer. The controversy has reignited debates about how DGPs are chosen in India and why their appointment process is critical for good governance. So hello and welcome. You're watching Next IAS English. Today, let's deep dive into this case study. The turning point in the debate over DGP appointments came in the landmark Prakash Singh versus Union of India 2006 case. In this judgment, the Supreme Court recognized the urgent need to reform India's police forces, which were often accused of being vulnerable to political interference. One of the key directives of the judgment was aimed at ensuring the post of the DGP, being the highest-ranking police officer in the state, should be insulated from arbitrary transfers and temporary arrangements. The court made it mandatory for state governments to prepare a list of eligible IPS officers and send it to the Union Public Service Commission (UPSC) at least 3 months before the incumbent DGP retires. The UPSC, after examining the officer's service records, integrity and experience, would then prepare a panel of 3 names. The state government in turn must select one officer from this panel and appoint him or her as the DGP for a minimum tenure of 2 years, irrespective of the officer's date of retirement. The intention was to provide stability, continuity and professionalism at the highest level of the police hierarchy. Now, let's talk about why acting DGPs are a problem. Despite these clear directions, many states continue to appoint acting or in-charge DGPs. The Supreme Court has repeatedly frowned upon this practice as it undermines the stability promised in the Prakash Singh judgment. Acting appointments often serve as stopgap arrangements, leaving the top post vulnerable to uncertainty and political discretion. They also raise doubts about whether the state has deliberately bypassed UPSC recommendations or delayed the impanelment process for its own reasons. In the Tamil Nadu case, the government defended its move by citing ongoing litigation involving an IPS officer who wanted to be considered for the post. However, the court has noted that such legal disputes cannot justify non-compliance with its earlier directions. In fact, the Supreme Court has gone a step further and asked the UPSC to expedite its recommendations so that a regular DGP can be appointed without any further delay. Now let's talk about how the appointment process works. The appointment of a DGP is not merely a bureaucratic formality. It reflects the balance between state autonomy and constitutional oversight. In practice, the process begins with state government identifying all eligible officers, usually those at the rank of additional DGP or equivalent. These names are forwarded to the UPSC, which evaluates them on the basis of seniority, service record, range of experience and integrity. After the scrutiny, UPSC prepares a short list of 3 officers. The state is bound to choose one of these officers, ensuring that the selection is transparent and based on merit. Once appointed, the DGP enjoys a guaranteed tenure of 2 years, which prevents arbitrary transfers or premature removals. Now, let's talk about the larger significance. The Tamil Nadu controversy highlights the continuing tension between administrative convenience and constitutional accountability. On one hand, state government argue that unforeseen circumstances may require temporary arrangements like an acting DGP. On the other, the judiciary insists that such practices dilute the spirit of police reforms and weaken the public trust. The appointment of a DGP is not just about filling a vacancy, it is about ensuring that the police force has a stable, independent and professional leadership that can act without fear or favor. Now, let's move towards the conclusion. The appointment of an acting DGP in Tamil Nadu has once again reminded us that the police reforms remain a work in progress. The Supreme Court's intervention shows its commitment to upholding the principles laid down in the Prakash Singh case. At the same time, it highlights how states often struggle or hesitate to fully implement these guidelines. For India, strengthening the process of DGP appointments is essential not only to depoliticize the police but also to safeguard the democracy itself. A transparent rule-based appointment system ensures that the police leadership is guided by merit and professionalism rather than political calculations. So that's it for today. I will see you in another deep dive video. Until then, bye-bye. Take care.